Hello guys and welcome back to .NET in Minutes. Today we are diving into something every backend developer needs to understand: how to manage version control for REST APIs. It might sound simple, but versioning your API properly is what keeps your application stable, your clients happy, and your future self-sane. In this episode we will talk about why versioning is needed, the most common strategies, their pros and cons, and some best practices used by big companies like Microsoft, Google, and GitHub. By the end, you will understand not only how to version an API, but also when and why. So, why do you even need API versioning? Imagine you are build an API and hundreds of clients. Mobile apps, web apps, services, all depends on it. Now, one day you need to make a breaking change. Maybe you rename a file, change a route, or remove a response property. If you just update your API without versioning it, everything that depends on it will break. That's where versioning comes in. It allows you to evolve your API without breaking existing clients. Each version becomes a contract, a promise between your API and the client. Let's make a real world analogy. Think of your API like a restaurant menu. If you change the menu every week and your customers order using the old version, they will get confused or angry. Instead, you keep version 1 of the menu for a while and introduce version 2 with new items. That's exactly what API versioning does. It keeps your old menu available while you introduce the new one. Okay, let's speak about common API versioning strategies. 1. URI versioning, the most popular and simple method. You include the version in the URL like API v1 users or API v2 products. It's clear, explicit, and easy to test in tools like Swagger or Postman. But it can also make your routes messy when you have many versions, and it's not very flexible if you want multiple versions running side by side. Query parameter versioning. Here you include the version as a query parameter like API users version equal to. It keeps the URL cleaner, but is not as standard, and it can be confusing for caching and routing system. Header versioning. This one is popular in enterprise APIs. You add a custom header like accept application vnd.myapi.v2 plus JSON. This keeps URLs clean and let clients request specific versions without headers. It's more flexible and professional, but also more complex. Your clients need to know how to set headers correctly. Media type versioning, aka content negotiation. Here, you use the accept header to specify version media type, like application/vnd.company.app minus v2 plus JSON. It's elegant and restful, but it can be hard for beginners to implement. This approach is used by big platforms like GitHub's REST API. So, best practices. Which method should you choose? There's no single right answer. It depends on your API size, your users, and your tech stack. But here are some best practices to keep in mind. Don't version too early. Add versioning where you expect breaking changes. Communicate deprecation clearly. Give clients time to migrate. Add headers like deprecation or sunset. Keep all versions stable. Never break old APIs unexpectedly. Document everything. Include version number in your API docs or Swagger UI. Automate your versioning flow. Use routes, controllers, or namespace for different versions, depending on your framework like ASP.NET, Node, or Django. Okay, now real world example. Let's take GitHub as an example. The REST API uses custom media types for versioning like application/vnd.github plus JSON version equal 2022 minus 11 minus 28. That means GitHub can roll out new features, change response formats, and still keep compatibility for older integrations. It's a clean, future-proof approach. Microsoft APIs often use URL versioning, simple and direct for developers. Google use header-based versioning for some services. Different strategies, same goal, stability and evolution. Okay, how to think about versioning strategically? Don't just copy a versioning style from another company. Think about your team size, your release cycle, and your base users. If you have a small team and a single client, URL versioning is perfectly fine. If you are building a public API with thousands of customers, header or media type versioning gives you flexibility. Remember, versioning is about communication, not just syntax. To recap, versioning keeps your API backward compatibility. There are multiple strategies: URI, query, header, or media type. Choose what fits your project, your clients, and your workflow. Thanks for listening to .NET in Minutes. If this helped you, don't forget to follow and share this episode with your dev friends. Until next time, keep your API clean, stable, and evolving.